the board today. This is called the Eden. The Eden is roughly $420. I think the Eden is absolutely drop dead gorgeous. This is a prototype, so let me just quickly read off the changes that will be done. That way that we can just kind of look at the board. The only two changes is the Molex connector on the PCB side has been moved to line up with the actual hole in the case so you don't pop it off. Okay, so that's changed. And the number of unique screw bits is to disassemble the case has been changed to 2, because I'm assuming perhaps this was a lot of different screw bits, which is usually a bit of a hindrance. But it's about $420, uses tadpole / O-ring, and will be sold in stock through Mecha Store, which is, you know, I kind of want to go visit Mecha Store one day. I think it's in, what, Singapore? They have the actual storefront there. That place looks cool. They have like a lot of interesting reviews and stuff too. All right, so this is the Eden. This is a paid for review, by the way. It will not affect anything that I do as per the norm. The Eden is something I've actually been looking at for quite a while. And when I got, asked to take a look at this, I was like, my goodness, this thing's kind of pretty. Yeah, so the weights, I'm not sure. Okay, this is the only thing I'm not too positive about. I believe there's gonna be different finishes or patinas. So this is all gonna be different, but let's take a look at this. Look at this beautiful, beautiful side profile, first of all. We got that excellent seam, excellent side profile. Love it. And now, this has, just like the Alicia that we saw, this has a pattern CNC'd into it. The feet are not on this keyboard yet, but they also do have, some of the CNC machining marks on it too, which is kind of cool. And it's patinaed. So pretty neat looking keyboard. The bottom looks phenomenal. Like it really does. God damn, that's kind of hot. Here's the back of the keyboard. So you can imagine when I see stuff like this, and it's in my favorite layout, being 60%, you already know I'm pretty interested. So we're gonna take a look at it. I'm hoping this sounds good. It's at a $420 price point, which I don't think is obscene for this, especially because it is in stock. Now, there may be one thing that right off the bat, I'm gonna say I might not be the most interested in, which is the front height. I believe the front height with the cherry lip on it comes out to be, I want to say this is what they're using for dimensions here, is about 18 mil. But without the cherry lip, it's about 22, 23. So it is a little bit taller, which might affect your decision to pick something like this up. I don't know if this is finalized pricing, but they said $420 USD. All right, we got a little PCB action going on here too. Let's take a look at this guy. Okay, this is gonna be my objective point of criticism. Again, it's not like this won't function with this, but this is my one objective point of criticism, is this connector right over here. Not the end of the world, but objectively these don't last as long as something like the regular JST connector. I would like to see that potentially swapped. Again, it's not like this breaks the PCB immediately, but they do have a lower rate of, what's the word I'm looking for? Failure. I think they're rated for what, 8 to 10 uses, something like that. We got a half plate here. Ooh, I didn't know we had a half plate today. We got a full plate. I don't know what plate we're gonna use today. But the PCB has lots of options on it though, so that's good. Lots of options for a PCB. So no, this is tadpole, which is not really like Tottenham, but I sort of feel like it kind of is. Or an O-ring. There's the EasyMate / GST. And we have our feet here. All right, let's do some stabilizers. I know some people love it, and it's one of those things where you pick it up, you feel it out, you figure out if you like it or not. Bro, for me, 205 and GS2 are the only lubes I use. Well, and dielectric, technically. All right, now we get to play the guessing game of this plate. Full plate it is, guys. Full plates it is. Well, I guess this is the way that the plate sits, because there's only one place for the plate here. I don't know if other plates will have different spacebar configurations for this. I didn't see that, and I didn't realize that this plate didn't have offerings for that. I don't know. I don't know if there'll be different plates for this. They have another version of this on their, like this white one with this like really light colored copper on their pictures. That one looks insane. So the way that my vendor list works is a few things. They're sponsored, just so you guys are, like, I'm not gonna list something there and then not have the sponsor logo in here. So just so you guys are aware, like I have either some sort of affiliate or sponsor agreement with them. There's the black stars, which mean I have personally purchased something there. and I have gone through like the trials of buying something from their website. And then there's also no stars, which means I know of them. People have told me good things, so I'll list it on the website. And then I have a new section on the list there, Zosco, which is like my recommended list, which is the stuff that I actually purchase on a regular basis. So those are like the brands I typically shop with. But don't let that deter you from trying other brands that I have stars on and stuff like that. Oops, wrong button, guys, sorry. Hello, light, turn on. There we go. I have two buttons. One's to turn on my soldering iron and one's for my lights, and they're right next to each other. I've never once mishit them until today. I just got confused. That old man brain, Smoge. Do you have a recommendation for a switch in an office build? I would pick something like relatively lightweight. I'm gonna hit you with my recommendation that I recommend to a lot of people. KTT Roses. I think they're like a good weight. They're a good everything. Relatively kind of cheap too. Like they're not overly expensive, which is fantastic. We love to hear that too. So, ooh, wait, these curry switches look kind of nice in here. Other than that, assembly is not too over the top. If you had tadpoles, you just also lay it down in there. So not over the top assembly, which is nice. So in case that matters to you guys, which it does to me a lot, assembly for this, pretty standard fare. Nothing too crazy. Oh God, I love the Geon style feet, man. It's so nice. Just presses in. So, little showcase of the board one more time here. This is the back weight. It does have some of the CNC passes over here, visible still, as I guess as a pattern, but it does have a design also CNC'd into it. A little bit more visible in the pictures, depending, I guess, on the style of weight you get. I think this looks absolutely stunning from just about every angle. Like, it does look really nice. Little side profile that kind of cuts into the bottom too. Very elegant, quite like that. Yes, this is the plum colorway. Side profile looks really good on this too. Again, this little dip here also makes it kind of easier for picking up too. Front height seems to be a bit high. It is lowered again by that cherry lip, which we do love cherry lips. I mean, I do anyways. Makes the effective front height a little bit lower, which is good. But I think they said this was 18 and then it gets up to like 22 or 23 or something. But very, very nice looking keyboard. I also, just another little note too, the last, like, I would say year of me doing keyboard stuff, I've been really into visible seams on a keyboard. When I see a nice seam and it looks good and it's well done, I'm here for it. I just like the way it looks. It gives the keyboard a little bit more definition and some character. But very, very nice. Very curious as to how this is gonna sound. Oh, by the way, here's the keyboard from the side angle as well. So you do get that little peek from the back. I don't even think I showed you guys from the side angle. Very pretty. Absolutely gorgeous. That does look really nice. Oh, what's this? Oh, I do not like that. Did this not screw in nicely? Do you guys hear that? Let's see if this didn't screw in properly. Oh yeah, I did not tighten these enough at all. Did I? Actually, there is still a little bit of wiggle room here, it seems. Okay, so I don't know if the screws are a little bit too loose, but just as a little, seems like the screws are not long enough or something. Should I really have to crank this? No, I don't think so. It shouldn't really affect the keyboard at this point, but just as a little note to you guys, I guess, it's not tightening enough at all. Let me see if the bottom screws in a little bit more. Let's see. No, these are pretty tight in there. All right, well, just as a note, we'll do this. We'll say this as a note to them. Maybe it's just the screws. No, they're not stripped at all. It's just the screws don't seem like they're, maybe they're a bit short or something. I know they did mention in the notes that they're doing changes to the screws. Maybe that's one of the changes, but I will note that to them for the prototype. Just so you guys know that that could be potentially an issue. Maybe a tad long. Maybe it could have also be a tad long. You are correct there too. It's a little bit better now. Not as rattly, but you know what? I love me some patina though. Patina is quite nice. So I am here for it. Let's take a look. Fully assembled. Little piece of copper at the back. I like that little accent. That looks quite nice. Again, you're never gonna see that, but it is creating some sort of reflection there too. Very pretty. Great little side profile. I'll show you guys the back of the keyboard again. Here's the side profile again. Quite nice. Has some nice styling to it. The bottom looks phenomenal. So 2 key things to take away from this though. Build process was relatively easy. I do think there needs to be either a deeper channel for the JST connector, just for the sake of, I don't want to say cohesiveness, but like just as a better build experience, a little bit more quality of life. I also don't really care for the EasyMate connector. And then the screws also need to be figured out with that too, because that making that knocking sound is not ideal. Quite frankly, I wouldn't be that happy. If you guys haven't noticed too, the bezels on the side are a little bit thinner than they appear to be, just because of the way they've styled the bezels. Very pretty over here too. I don't know if you guys can catch how they did that. So it's kind of tapered inwards. Very, very pretty. The side bezel is seemingly really thin, but I like the way they styled that too. Just a little something you don't always see in the boards as well, right? So it does have a bit of a shape on the top. We are using Gateron curry switches, which are 20 cents a piece. So this is by Gateron's new sub-brand called Everfree, which they're saying is a side brand or some sort of sub-brand that's not heavily affiliated with Gateron or something like that. So we'll see how these sound. We are using the full plate. We're using an O-ring. Unfortunately, they didn't send me any tadpoles. I don't think I have any tadpoles lying around. So let's see what this sounds like. I'll give you guys a little HJ test first. Okay, the switches sound really nice in this. I did re-lube the Gateron curry switches though. I know they come stock lube, but they weren't very consistent and there was absolutely no lubricant on the spring. Ooh. Yeah, the milky tops are nice. So I think the switches are definitely very full on this board. It takes advantage of it with the O-ring build. Got to work in this switch a little bit, and as well as the stab for the spacebar. You can see as we type on it, it gets a little bit louder. Ooh, that's nice. I like the O-ring. I would have loved to see the tadpole with this. All right, so it's a clean sound, very clean sound. And I like these switches a lot. I'm gonna definitely order more of these. Yeah, you know, I still hear a little bit of that. They need to fix whatever is causing this issue. I think you guys are right. I do think it's too long of a screw for the top over here. Force break. I don't think it's causing any issues with the sound, fortunately, but it's just, I guess, the construction of this. I like the way this feels. It's your typical O-ring mount. I would actually even say this is a little bit more bouncy than your typical O-ring mount. Has a little bit more give to it. More in line with how the Event Horizon feels. Nice full sound signature from the board too, so you're not missing out on any like key notes there. I like this. This is nice. Quite lovely. Again, there is some objective things that I think need to be worked on. Again, the screws, easy mate connector, I'm not the biggest fan of. And I do wish they made the channel a little bit bigger, but I don't know if it's any, I don't think you can. Yeah, there's a slight gap that I can see. It could also be a warped top frame of some sort too. Yeah, I think this sounds great, feels great. Would still like to try this in tadpole mount, but unfortunately can't today. Solid sound, solid feel. Very, very solid. I would say it's exactly what you'd expect out of an O-ring build. So there's no shocker in how it feels and sounds. Tadpole would probably make this a little bit more, I would probably say loud sounding. More reminiscent, I feel, of like a top mount, sorta. That's how I would kind of maybe, it's like a top meets gasket, sorta. To me anyways. Let's take a quick peek at this. Very pretty, guys. I hope the Eden does well. I hope that they fix those. I mean, the key thing to me is fixing the screws or whatever this is. I hope this is just chalked up to a warped top frame or something. Maybe that's some sign for them to go through everything. And then the easy mate connector, but other than that, very nice feeling board, very nice looking board, very nice sounding board. Quite awesome. I'm big into it. It's quite a looker. Also, 420 not terrible for this. I think 420 is a good amount because it does have a nice patinaed little weight on the back too. So, all right, guys, thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it, and thank you again for them for sending out the Eden Mecha store. See ya.